Hello everybody in this new tutorial of Unity. So today we'll show you how to make the look and look mechanic for missions. So I have the last project. Here we have the menu slider. So first of all we will import an image for look mission. We import it to Unity. Here we selected and change the texture type to 2D and UI and change the compress quality to high quality. Let's apply. So here we have to add a new image which will represent the look. Let's call it look image 2, and we have to drag and drop the sprite to image source. So here we deactivate the text. Let's change the width and the height to 80 and make sure that is centered at the middle. So let's try 16. More a little bit, yeah, 70 and 70. It's look nice. So here we have to duplicate this looker in all other buttons. So let's duplicate it and drag and drop it to the third button. Let's rename it to look image 3. I will make the same thing for all other buttons. So here the fourth one, yeah, it's the last button. So here let's name it to look image 9, look image 8, and let's copy component and select all other image and in the rect transform right click and paste component values. So here we have to all other image. Let's try to deactivate all other text number to set it to false. It's not activated, so by default we have only the first mission which is activated. Certainly you have to make the same thing for all the other buttons for the second panel. So here we'll make the same thing. We duplicate the image. Let's rename it to 10 and this one to 11. So in the same way we will make the same thing, duplicate it and make it the second panel, deactivate all the text mission by default. So here we select the container panel. The idea is to make a class that that will make the select mission. So we'll make new script mission select. So here we have to make a method in order to load a scene by name. So let's call it load async mission, and the parameter will be the mission name or the scene name. So here we have a string mission name, and the method returns enumerator. So let's use the scene manager and control semicolon in order to import the using scene management. So here we'll use the load scene async, which take the mission name. So this mission will return a task. It's a synchronous method. We'll call it operation. And while true, while the operation it's is done, it's false. It's not done. So we load the scene. So this portion of code we can simulate the load or the progress bar in order to load the mission. So here we'll take the operation dot progress, and here we can simulate certainly in the UI and make a progress bar. And let's return so here we have to return yield null. So we'll make this method private. We don't need it to expose it for all classes. And we will make here a method which call it load mission. Yeah, I changed the name here, load mission async. It's better, yeah. So we'll make a load mission which take the string. It will be the mission name. We'll define it in Unity editor. So here we start Cartesian and load mission async, which take the mission name, and that's all for loading. So here in the Unity editor we select the mission button. We'll add on-click event, so we add a new event, and let's drag and drop the container panel, which we have here the select mission, and we select load mission. So here we have to write the mission name. So in the same way, we'll make the same thing for all other buttons, and each time we have to write the mission name. So here we have mission name 2. Same thing, we add the event, drag and drop the container panel, and select load mission, and we'll make mission 3. So here we have to make the same thing for all other buttons. So I will add a new scene which called mission 1, mission 2, and mission 3. So in order to see the loading scene, and we'll see the mechanic how it works. So here we define some text which called mission 1, and we'll add a button which called win button in order to simulate the winning event. So in the real case we have a mission, and after winning this mission we have to navigate to the missions panel. So here we duplicate the mission, add mission 2, mission 3, and in these three missions we'll add a button in order to simulate the winning event. So here I don't have a really mission, just a simulation. Certainly you can do this in real in the real case, after winning, after killing, for example, all enemies, we have to launch a winning method in order to calculate score, show the stars winning the games, etc. So here we add a button. Let's make it bold. Yeah. So we need to add a new script which called win mission. This script will simulate the mission, the winning event. So in order to make this, I have to add a new method which called unlock next mission, and it take the number of mission. So when I win a level, we have to launch this method. So in order to have the information, I have to store this information using player prefab. So this is a mechanic of Unity. We can store floats, we can store string. So generally, we can store all type of information, like for example the mission number, the last winning winned mission. So let's make a property. It will be a static property which called get last mission. So it return player prefabs dot get int. So the key will be last mission, the last winning mission, and by default, when initialize the game, if this key does not exist um, or does not exist or it exists and don't have values, it will be 0 by default. So here we'll add uh, a method which called set last mission. So when we win a mission, we have to set the next level, the next unlock level, and it will be prefab dot set int, the same key last mission and the value. So in unlock next mission, first of all, we have to check if the mission ID is greater than the game setting dot get last winning mission. So here we have to make the check in order to conserve the last right winned information, which we can give an example. If I winned the third mission and I would like to replay the first one, we don't have to set this information because the level 1 it's lower than the third one. So here we'll add the win mission unlock mission event. When I click the win button, I simulate this, and each time we have to set the the ID of mission, which will be unlocked. So here in the build setting, we need to import the 3 other missions. So we have mission 1, 2, and 3. So on the mission select, we need to add a list of game object. It will represent the mission mission's image. So if the mission is locked, we have to show the lock image. If the mission is not locked, we have to show the text number, the number of the mission. It's as simple as that. So we have to add the second list. It will be list of game object and will represent the missions look image. And the third one, it will be a list of buttons which represent the button of mission. So it will be missions button. Sorry. So here, in the start mission, in the start method, we have first of all get from game settings the stored data. We have to get the last information. If we don't have this key, we will get the default value of this key. It will be 0, I think. So here we have to make a for. So we will loop for all the mission image, and for each mission we will check if the last mission is greater than e plus 3 or plus 2. We'll change it I think to 2. So let's make so here if I have the last mission is greater than the current index plus 3, so we'll set the image text to set active. Simply I will show the number of the mission it's activated and we can access to it. The second thing is to set the active of missions look image at the current index to false. The mission is unlocked, so we don't need to have to show the look. So else we'll make the same thing, but we have to set active to the look image at the current index to true and the mission image to false. So here we need to disable the interactable behavior for the buttons. So here we will make mission boots at the current index e dot interactable. So here we don't have the correct using. We'll add unityunlocklevels, and here we'll set the interactable to true, else the interactable behavior to false. So in Unity Editor we have to set the list of missions image. So here we have 8 buttons. So by default the first level or the first mission is activated. Let's import all the text. Let's drag and drop all the text element. And the last one, the same way we have to set size of mission look to 8 and drag and drop all the other image, the look image. And the last one, we have to drag and drop all the buttons. Let's run and see. So normally we get, yeah, only the first one is activated and all other is deactivated. So here let's make some tests. For example, in the game settings, let's change the default value to 2, and here normally we have the second one. So here we have to change the index into e plus 2. It's not e plus 3, it's e plus 2. And normally here we'll get the first 5 missions. Yes. So here we change the default value to 1. So by default is the first one, and here we'll see we have the first one. Let's click, and here we have the first mission. I will simulate the winning event by clicking the button, and here we have the second one. The same way I click the win button, the mission 2, and normally we have the third one is activated. Yeah, that's cool.